Hi everybody, this is Pramita here, and today we're going to make clusters as I had promised before. So now there are different types of clusters that you can do. One is using single pieces of paper that you can layer on, which is what I'm going to show you today. But you can also do this in your on a sheet of A4 size paper or scrap paper or whatever. So that is going to be another process. So I wanted to share what I have done. Now honestly, I am a big failure at mass making. I cannot do that. After a while I find that I'm getting bored, or I'm just losing concentration, something of that sort. So so I have finished quite a few of this after I have shown you the entire stack. So they are random, like they can be butterfly, florals. This I did yesterday. So they can be anything. So I have that, and then I finished this yesterday. Yesterday I finished this also. So I made quite a few of them. So this one I did yesterday. So these are not all entirely same. Each one is different. This is something I did a long while back. This I finished yesterday. So I put some finishing touches on these. These were, what I did was I had layered some certain pages, paper scraps, and then I added these focal element that I have here now. So this is what I have. These were all done yesterday, and trust me, it takes up a lot of time because I kept fiddling with them. So this is a longitudinal one. You can use them on your page edges, or you can decorate, you can make them into tuck spots if you so want. They can be used in a number of ways. You don't need to have them like this. This one I had done a while back. So this one I finished yesterday, and again I finished this yesterday. The rest were all I had done before. So, and also I shared them. So what I did was, I was showing you this. So it can be anything, like you can make them in any way. So this is what I have, a box full of snippet cluster sort of thing. But it eats up a lot of time, according to me, but it's worth the trouble. That's also true. So I have made them like this. These were papers that I was probably never going to use. These were cardstock papers, and look at this. And so what I did was I just layered them up with scraps. This is one technique that you can do. This has been shared by Teal and Tattered. Martina, yeah. So she did something like this, creating tickets and stuff like that, layering them. So you can use, if they are big enough, you can use them as tuck spots as themselves, or if they are small enough, then you can obviously do something. You can glue them on an envelope or pocket or anything of that sort. So I'm going to keep that aside. So what I have here is a bunch of stuff that I'll probably be making into clusters. So these are basically the incomplete clusters that I had initially started, but then I didn't complete them. Hopefully this video is not going to be too long, and I have gathered a few stuff that I need, that I can use. And sorry, I just need to take this off. So what I am going to do is I'm going to be using these. So I have some of them partly prepped. I hope you people will understand, because you have to sift through your stash, and it eats up a lot of time. So either you can do it this way, like I have I'm going to take everything off and then you will be able to see. So this is just a piece of cardstock that I'm going to be using as a backer. So now what I'll do is I'll just pop things down, and while I do that I'm going to do a little bit of chit-chatting. So in my last video, I think last to last, Tanya from Tatty Treasures had commented, loved your chit chat. Thank you, Tanya, so much for watching. And I do have a lot of new subscribers. Thank you, ladies, for subscribing to my channel. And if I remember from which digital or from which part I have the the itty bitty thing from, I'll definitely tell you that. But if I do not remember, then please forgive me. And some are pretty well known, so you don't need any introduction. So I'll just start layering them. I might use something else because, okay, so I'm going to use something from here. I have a lot of specific ones that I want to use. Okay, so I'm going to use this. These are the butterfly, fussy cut butterfly sheets that I have in my shop, and they are in two sets, set 1 and set 2. So I am going to just snip this off and I will be good to go. So I'm going to use this butterfly. And I will also show you another technique where you can create these page snippets. Page snippets in the meaning that you can just glue them on the page, layer thin strips of paper, large bits of paper, not very large, like stamp sized, even long, punched paper, whatever you have. And then you glue them down, and then you can just tear them off. It's pretty convenient, and you just take that sheet of paper, it's like a sheet, you create a sheet of snippets, and then you can add laces, you can make them in the basic format, and then you can go on and add. It's like creating a pre-made base for your snippets. I hope I'm making sense, because I have seen someone do it. I'm not sure, but I'll try and look for that. Okay, so here we have the first one that we need to put over here. So I want to put the lace bit first. Why? I'll tell you, because I will have a little bit of a space to play with. So here what I have is this one, numbers. So I want this to be jutting a little bit, and then I'm going to put this. Okay, let me move this aside. So here I'm going to do this. Okay, now when I'm using labels, what I do is I do not use two numbered labels. One, if I'm using two labels, then either I'm going to use a number and a phrase or some word thingies, or I am going to use a blank and the number label or something of that sort. So I'm going to place this over here, and this is the last one, and I'm going to place this over here. So this is my cluster done, and I'm going to just lay this aside, because I will glue them separately, in layers, just like I said, and then I'm going to come back. So gluing part is obviously messy, so I'm going to stay away from gluing right away. So I'll glue everything at the end. So here is another bit that I had done. See, you can see all bits and pieces that I had, which I was not using anywhere else. You can use that. And then what I did was I had this Polaroid frame sort of thing. Okay, now what I'll do is I will just grunge this up a little bit so that it looks old, but okay. So I'm going to put this over here. Now what I want to do is I want to create a layer or a bed of this cheesecloth sort of thing, and then I'm going to put this, or so you can tilt this a little bit, and then I'm going to put this butterfly. This butterfly is also from the fussy cut strips that I have in my shop, and I'm going to put this over here like so. So this is going to be the second layout. Okay, and in the third one what we can do is now I have chosen these amidst a lot of options. This I think is a fussy cut flower from Stephanie, Junk with Steph. She has these beautiful fussy cut flowers in a big kit. So it comes with 2 sizes. So I've used that, and as I said, if I'm using number ones, then I'm not going to use it in anywhere else. So probably I will be using some word. So I'm going to be using this. So I need to ink this up. So once I layer and decide what is going to come first, I will then go on to glue them down. Okay, not before that. So I can put this there, or no, I'll put it here. So this will go on like so. Okay, so you can keep it as 2 joined ones and just paper clip them or make it into an overlapping pocket, so it can go from one page to the other, or you can just trim them up and use as you like. Okay, so that's done. That's sort of done. Again we're going to make another one. So this was a strip that I had, and what I did was I just added all odd bits, odd shapes and sizes, and I'm going to ink this up. Okay, and since it's long, I'm going to use something which is long too. So I'm going to put this. This is also okay. So this is from My Porch Prints. Yes, it's from My Porch Prints. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this word flowers like so, or not here. I can add this over here. Not sure. No, I want this over here. It's better. I'm going to ink this up, and then I'm going to use this number probably over here. As I said, I never put 2 numbers. I find that a little bit. It's my style. Like, you can do it if you like it. Do it. There's no rule. You can't do it, but it's just how my brain functions. So anyway, so that's done. So when I'm using scraps like this, I usually stitch them because it's very difficult to keep such tiny small things, in your tub or space where you want to save them. So again, I have these 2 prepped more or less. As I said, usually what I do is I try and choose the things that I will use, and then I start using them. Otherwise, this is an unending process. You will never get anything done. It's pretty time consuming. So what I'll do is, I have this, these are itty bitty things that I don't throw away, and that's one of the reason why you need to do projects like this, to use things like this. So I'm going to take off the threads a little bit, and probably I'm going to, no, I'm not going to use this. This is too stringy. I might use something else. So what I'll do is, I have some vintage tablecloth, and I will just cut a tiny portion, and what I'll do is I'll just layer this. Okay, so I'm going to put another tiny bit also and show you what I'm talking about. So this is another lace trim that I have. See, I'm going to cut only one section, and I'm going to place this like so. I have not put down any labels, which is very, very unnatural of me, and I'm going to put down some label. So I'm using these labels. These are from I don't know the name of the shop, I forgot. One Journal Spot or something. This is a shop in Norway, and I really loved her these words. They are pretty nice. So you get 5 sheets in the kit, and they are of different sizes, and I loved it. It has kind of a organic feel to it. So I have this prepped sort of thing. I'm not going to add anything else to this over here. Let's come over here. So here we have a label, and this is from Tracy Fox. Love junk journals, love her labels. And also I'm going to put this one. This is from that One Journal Spot, and I'm going to put this because I want these beaded structures, and then there's something going on. And this was actually a part of a long garlandy sort of thing from Tina's kits. So I'm going to put that. And then probably I'm going to put a small number or something over there. I'm not sure yet. So we'll see. Oh, so I have a number. Okay, so I can put this over here. And I don't put cheesecloth on all of the clusters that I do, but if I use cheesecloth, I think it adds a lot of dimension, and it becomes very interesting. So I might add them when I stitch or glue. I might change my mind. Here again you can see what I've done. I just had these scraps, so I've just placed them like this. I'm going to put this specimen sort of thing, and again I'm going to push this more towards the side, and I'll put this rose and maybe I'm going to put this, yeah. So you can see, you can use them, you can make them bigger if you so want, but I like to keep them like this. So if you're making a roll, you can place these items on a lace strip or a fabric strip or whatever, but you can make them into tiny clusters also. And another process that I will show you is how you can make them on a sheet of paper and just tear them along the way and use them to build your stash. You can do that also with lots of scraps. I'll show you that process in the next part, but this is going to be the first part, okay? Because I had shown another video on snippet roll where I placed them on the lace base, but this is not like that. This is a little bit different. You're just using your cardstock bases. So I will come back, I'll glue them, and then I'll come back and show you how they look. So I'm back just to show you that I have glued these down, and I'm yet to glue another set. So I'll just share the process in which I do the gluing. So I use a brush, and that's because it gives me access to all the corners, and also it doesn't allow my fingers to be, you know, all glued up, because then whatever I'll touch, it's going to cause it will just stick to my fingers. So that's why, and I'm just placing a layer of glue over the floral image, and because I know I'm not going to put anything on that. So also I want to put the flowers, not this one, the flowers over here. So first I put the cheesecloth, and then I try to just if I want, I can always go back and you know, run my sewing machine over that, but right now I will just leave them to dry, so that whenever I want or feel, I can do that later on. I don't need to do it right away. So I'm going to put this like so. So this part is done, and now we're going to work on this section. So I generally try to create as, you know, little mess as possible, but you know, paper crafting is a little bit messy, even if you try to keep it controlled. After a point of time, it totally takes over your workspace, you know. So I'm going to layer this Polaroid frame. Okay, this process is very boring, but still I thought, okay, let me share how I am going to put these. So this is, I'm going to use the butterfly in the center, and I can always cover these up using some lace flowers or some words. Probably I will, just a second. So I'm going to let this dry, and okay, I have those small organizers sort of thing where I keep my some labels already left over from bigger sheets. So what I usually have are strips, you know, and then that's very difficult to store. And I will use this word "be kind," because if anybody needs, everybody should agree with me that we need to be a little bit more kind. So I'm going to put this like so. So what I'll do is my next step will be just to glue these flowers down. Now I don't expect them to stick completely, but what I'll do is I'm going to just let them dry as much as that I can run my sewing machine over these and they won't move. That's all I want. So here is my here is my snippet clusters more or less done, and trust me, this takes a lot of time, a lot of calculations, what will go best, and I could only finish this much in this specified time. But I will also show you how you can make them into thin strips, you know, on paper. That will be probably in a next video. because that is super easy. If you have thinner strips, you can make clusters using the same formula, the same process basically. So I'm going to end my video here. Thank you everybody for watching this. I hope this has been some sort of an insight into my process. So I'll share different processes that I follow along the way. So this is making snippet cluster using your cardstock bases, but there's going to be another method, so I'll show that later on. So this, I'm calling this as method 1 or process 1, and that will be process 2. So bye everybody, have a great day and stay safe.